I can say that there are certain groups of people that don't take vaccines and don't take any pills that have no autism. Is that a correct statement, by the way?
There are some studies that suggest
The Amish, yeah, virtually. I heard none. See, Bobby wants to be very careful with what he says, and he should, but I'm not so careful with what I say. I think it's very bad. They're pumping, it looks like they're pumping into a horse. You have a little child, little fragile child, and you get a vat of 80 different vaccines, I guess. The MMR, I think, should be taken separately. This is based on what I feel. Ideally, a woman won't take Tylenol, but if you can't tough it out, if you can't do it, that's what you're going to have to do. You'll take a Tylenol, but it'll be very sparingly. I said, well, let's see how we say that. Acetaminophen.
Got it.
You got
Is
it.
that okay?
Yeah, it was okay. It was okay. This is the guy I want to take my medical advice from.
Next to America's healthiest man, Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
We don't remember 2020. Remember the bleach.
Yeah.
Remember the ivermectin. Like what?
Just I don't. There is autism among.
If you're not going to share your location, then I'm not sharing mine.
On the Amish, that's not true.
There's no difference in incidence. There's just a difference in reporting because they're the Amish, and so people have looked into this, and they have just as much autism among the Amish as everywhere else.
Yeah, the problem is that Amish parents can't Google, hey, why does my kid like trains so much?
We can't.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
I just can't get past Bobby Kennedy's face looking at like it was the game ball from Super Bowl III. He was just like, it's like such a specific letter.
Oh, yeah.
It's just, it kind of killed me, man. Ugh. So it was like, don't take it, but ask your doctor, but take it low dose, tough it out. By the way, Tylenol is like the only thing that the pregnant women can take for pain, right? And so now you're going to tell them to tough it out if they have a fever or pain or whatever else, because no studies link that's. There's large-scale studies have not found any reliable evidence that acetaminophen causes autism, and medical experts consider it safe when used appropriately.
Look, I saw a stat that said each week a quarter of U.S. adults use a medicine that contains acetaminophen. So this is a widely used drug. As you said, yeah, it's like the only thing women can take to bring down the fever or deal with pain relief when they are pregnant. The problem is there are some studies with, so there's one study in Sweden that analyzed the health records of 2.5 million children. Initially, it found a small positive association between women who used acetaminophen and incidence of autism, ADHD, and other challenges, but that link went away when they did some subsequent analysis that incorporated genetics into the passing down of those traits. So there's a lot of data out there, and I think people are looking for reasons or an explanation for why there has been this rise in autism. A lot of people say it's because we're better at diagnosing it now, or we're diagnosing things now that we didn't used to. But the challenge in this case is you can't do pharmaceutical research on pregnant women for obvious reasons, because it would be completely unethical. So it's really hard to pin down the exact causes of problems. And when Trump goes up there and just riffs and is like, did I get that right? Did I nail that stat? It's like, buddy, you are giving guidance about vaccine intakes, use of medicine for pregnant women that people are going to follow. Like half the country is going to treat as gospel, and you're just winging it.
Based on how he feels. He admitted it. That's how I feel.
Well,
That's how I feel.
He also, every once in a while when he's reading something or saying something and he kind of realizes there's a logical conclusion that he hasn't thought of before, and so he just says it out loud. Like when he said that there should be some sort of punishment for women, he was just sort of following the train of thought. It's like, well, that seems to be where it would go, not realize he'd stepped into like a political morass. And here he's like, says here, Tylenol may lead to autism, but if women have a high fever, they should take it. So I guess that means if they just can't tough it out anymore, I guess you have to take it. Like you saw him like figure it out in real time. Like, wait a second, what is this advice that? And then you look at what he's actually saying, which is that like, if you're pregnant and you're sick, you don't feel well, you have a terrible headache, you feel bad generally, you now have the president in your ear being like, do you care about your baby enough to not take this medicine, or are you going to tough it out?
based on just like completely uncertain medical, just like evidence that would not be presented in this way by
From a kook.
from a fucking kook. This is not like after careful study. This is from an environmental lawyer and dilettante.
Yeah.
And you know why he's doing it? Because we're going to hear in, I don't know, a month from now, maybe even less, he's going to be like, and then, I stopped the Tylenol for the autism, and now I just saw the other day, someone printed out something for me, there's no more autism. Have you seen this? Because I fixed it. I cured autism. By next year it'll be he cured autism, and he'll be wondering why he didn't get the Nobel Prize for that.
Well, yeah. Also, in last week, the Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices, the ACIP, they changed around the way children under 4 are going to get the MMRV vaccine, and they're just like, it's not worth getting into all the details, but they're going to stretch it out over multiple shots. They're going to make it more painful for the kids. They're going to make it more time-consuming. They're going to make it harder for parents to get in to see a doctor and create more friction in the process. That means more people just won't get their kids vaccinated. And this is like RFK and these activists who don't have the right medical background, like figuring out ways to slowly push their anti-vax agenda that isn't fully just like banning the use of
I was
vaccines.
going to say, it's dipping their toes into it, right? Because what they're doing with MMRV is, you have your MMR and the V is the chickenpox vaccine. And so they're saying now under 4, instead of combining them all, which they have for some time, now they're going to separate them again. So you give them the MMR and then you give them the chickenpox vaccine later. All that's going to, like the people who are wealthier, who have health insurance, who can go to their doctors, and most of those doctors are going to be like, no, we're still going to give them to you all at once. But for poorer families, from people who rely on like going to like a public health clinic, whatever, you're right. It's going to be more inconvenient to get vaccines, and so there's just going to be fewer parents who remember to go back and get the chickenpox vaccine.
And then he also talked about like shrinking down the dosage size and giving you more of them. So you have like 4 of them. He said maybe he was like kind of winging it again.
The other part of this too is it's like just stepping back. Like he said that in his remarks, something like, "What's the downside? What's the downside? What's the downside?" And it's like, it's the doctors and experts who have like worked on vaccine policy and thought about this deeply are trying to protect kids on a vast scale as best as they can. And it's like, why is this the schedule? It's not because they want to load up kids all at once because they're fucking sadists, because they don't want what's best for the kids. No, they looked at the data and they've looked at the what happens when kids don't get vaccine. They look at just the time, as you spread out those vaccines across a whole country, that's a whole bunch more people that aren't vaccinated. And yes, it's unlikely in that whatever few months, right? Like that for one child that something goes wrong, but you look at a population on a whole, the end result is more sick kids. Right? Like that's what this is about. It's like it's this sort of like conspiratorial mindset so infused into everything that they're doing. Like the people that made these recommendations want what's best for the kids because and that's all it ever was.
But it's core to the core of Bobby Kennedy's messaging is that the CDC and the FDA and all these medical oversight organizations are just bought and sold by the pharmaceutical industry, and that is what they're telling us. They're evil, basically.
Yeah, and the experts are bad because the experts are liberals and liberals are bad, and so you can't trust them. And so we've got to do just something counter to what they've recommended.
Yeah, this is file this one under damage that will play out over decades to our country.
Right.
We might not see an immediate challenge from these types of announcements, but
Measles already up.
Yeah.
Measles already up.
Well, we tried to give you some good. Again, Jimmy Kimmel is going to be back on the air.
We'll get that. Yeah,
We got
that
one. Chalk that up.
One dose of that.
And a great day at Advil HQ. That buying that crypto paid off for those honchos at Bayer.
Oh, someone find out if what Trump administration officials started dumping their Tylenol stock before
Absolutely.
The aspirin people putting 50 grand in a kava bag to fork on over to Dr. Oz.
When we get back from the break, you'll hear Lovett's conversation with Senator Elizabeth Warren. But before we let him get to the serious stuff, I hear there's a brand new Love It or Leave It taping this Thursday, September 25th.
Okay, we got Paul Scheer, we got Hero of the Resistance, Eric Swalwell.
That's right. And more.
And more.
And more. Love It, are you aware that the housekeeping copy asked me to refer to you as the new king of late night?
By default.
It also said, hey, you were already crying a little bit, so why not make those tears of laughter?
I think it's like we're all crying because of politics.
I think that's just a note to you.
I'm just kidding. It's very weird. It says it in italics.
Just read the fucking copy.
Anger John.
So check out Love It or Leave It's
Please do.
upcoming shows and guests and grab tickets. Head to cricket.com/events. And if you can't come in person, there's a fresh pod for you every Saturday, no matter what the FCC has to say about it. Yay! So subscribe to Love It or Leave It now wherever you get.
It's good stuff.
No, see, it's not my joke. So subscribe to Love It or Leave It now wherever you get your podcasts or watch on YouTube. This podcast is sponsored by Squarespace. Squarespace is the all-in-one website platform designed to elevate your online presence and drive your success. Squarespace provides all the tools you need to promote and get paid for your services in one platform. Create a professional website to showcase your offerings and attract clients. Whether you offer consultations, events, or other experiences, Squarespace can help you grow your business. Squarespace offers a complete library of professionally designed and award-winning website templates with options for every use and category. No matter where you start, your website is flexible to what you need with intuitive drag-and-drop editing, beautiful styling options, unrivaled visual design effects, on-brand AI content, and more ways to list what you offer. No experience required. Every dream needs a domain. Squarespace Domains makes it easy to find the best name for your business at one fair, all-inclusive price, no hidden fees or add-ons required. Every Squarespace domain comes with advanced privacy and security tools included to ensure your domain remains online and protected. Plus, Squarespace provides everything you need to bring more of your dream to life, whether that means building a website or adding a professional email service. Don't wait to claim your name. Invest in your dream domain today. Head to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/crooked to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. That's squarespace.com/crooked.
Comcast is committed to bringing access to the internet to all Americans, including rural communities across the country, like Sussex County, Delaware.
We were being left behind. Everybody around us seemed to have internet, but we did not. High-speed internet is one of those good things that we needed to help us move our farming, our small businesses, our recreation forward.
Learn more about how we're bringing our next generation network to more people across the country at comcastcorporation.com/investment in America.
Senator Warren, welcome back to Pod Save America. Good to see you.
Thank you. It is always good to be at the pod.
Great to have you. We got a lot to get through. We're in shutdown mode.
Yep.
It's looming mode. Senate Republicans rejected the Democratic proposal on Friday that would have reversed a bunch of healthcare cuts and extended Obamacare health insurance subsidies, which are set to lapse on January 1st, will cost people thousands of dollars. They passed that through the big, beautiful bill. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer demanded to meet with President Trump. Then President Trump said he's happy to meet. Where are we at? What's next here?
So let me back up just a tiny little bit about where we are for families all across this country. Last spring, the Republicans passed that, or into summer, big, beautiful bill. It will take away health care from 15 million Americans, Medicaid, and also some ACA, Affordable Care Act subsidies. But it will affect the cost of health care for everybody in America. And in fact, some of that is starting to click in right now. Because when hospitals have to deal with uncompensated care, and they do, they got to raise their prices overall. So health insurance companies know they're going to be paying more for people who have insurance. So there are folks who are listening to this right now who are getting their letters from their health insurance companies saying things like, oh, you used to pay $700 a month, which I think is wow. But now you're going to have to be paying $1,600, $2,100, $2,700. The numbers are coming through. And these are huge increases for some people. All because Trump and the Republicans are trying to cut back on this spending, the federal spending on healthcare. So what's happened is, as you know, we're about to head into, you got to pass a new budget by September 30th, or the government runs out of money and will shut down. So the Republicans can't do that without Democratic votes in the Senate. They got to have us because they got to get to 60, and they've only got 53 if they have everybody on their side, which they might not. So they got to pick up 7 or more on our side. And what the Democrats have said is, look, we're happy to talk, but here's our ask. We want you to roll back some of those healthcare cuts. We want you to roll back the part of the healthcare cuts where you're going to take away healthcare from brand new babies and their mamas, where you're going to push seniors out of nursing homes and out onto the street, where you're going to take away the wheelchair and the home health aid from our neighbor who needs some assistance to live independently. We want you to roll some of this back. We're not asking you to spend more money than you were before. We're not asking to advance some huge new healthcare policy, but by damn, roll back some of these cuts before people start dying. And so far, Donald Trump and the Republicans have said, nope.
Right.
Nope. That's been it. Not, well, how about this? And could you do that? Nope. Just saying nope. And so Democrats are in the fight. We're out there slugging it right now.
Okay. But so Republicans are, but we're on the other side of them saying no.
Right.
The House is gone. Republicans went home in an act of bluster.
Yep.
They control the House. They have the majority in the Senate. They control the White House. They're saying, hey, you're doing what Republicans used to do. You don't have the power. You're trying to gum up the works. Let's plan we're going to pass a clean bill. And if you want to take credit for a shutdown, you'll pay a political price for it. So what's the response to that?
The response to that is help a few million people get their health care back. Don't raise prices for everybody who's got private insurance. Don't take a bite out of Medicare, which this bill ultimately will because of other provisions and the fact that it's going to drive up the national debt. Just don't do that. That we're saying Democrats are willing to fight, and what we're willing to fight for right now is you got to do better on health care for people across this country.
So just play this out.
Sure.
Democrats have now decided this is the fight we want to fight on. This is our ask. It is clear. It is concise. People can understand it. Republicans say no. We enter in a shutdown.
Holy
They're forcing
shit,
vote
Tesla.
after vote after vote. Are Democrats united around holding the line on this issue of...
Trying to kill me? Fuck. Whew. Holy shit.
on this issue of healthcare, and is the idea that ultimately you believe the Republicans will blink and Trump will sign a bill that undoes these cuts?
So yes, the Democrats are together. We know what we're doing. This is a righteous fight. I mean, this is the fight to have. It's a fight that's people can understand, and it's a fight that touches every single person in this country. And can I just do a little side here? Do you remember what was happening exactly a year ago right now?
I don't remember what was happening yesterday.
Okay, well, that's fair. But Donald Trump was standing up saying over and over and over that people should vote for him because on day one, he would lower costs for American families. Remember that? He used the phrase over and over, on day one. Those were his words. Well, now we're on day 240, 50, something like that. And the price of groceries is up, the price of utilities is up, the price of housing is up, the price of back to school shoes is up, and backpacks and baby strollers up. Price of healthcare is up, and thanks to Trump and the Republicans and their one piece of legislation, it's about to go up a whole lot more. This matters to American families. They are telling us that what they want is somebody on their side to help reduce costs. Donald Trump not only has done nothing, he's seen the costs go up. He and the Republicans have raised the cost. I think this is the place to throw down and have that fight.
So there's people making the opposite argument, which just says, you're right about all that. He is failing to achieve what he promised. He is in the toilet in his numbers on all of these issues, right? He has not been able to deliver. Democrats are united on that score. Republicans look bad on that score. And then we're going to go into a shutdown in which the politics are far murkier. And on a pure, practical, hard-nosed political calculation, that to some people seems like a stupid idea.
So I gotta say, I'm not sure why anybody thinks it's murkier. Now, look, it's not for me about politics. We are.
Well, I hope it should be. Why not?
No, let me say it slightly differently. It is about getting people the health care they need, and that is a goal we not only can keep in mind, it is a goal we should keep in mind. I think the politics here are very straightforward. We stand up and tell the American people every single day what Donald Trump promised and what they are doing right now, and that all the Democrats are asking for is to roll that back so that millions of people don't lose health care. I think that's a pretty strong place to fight from. And damn, if Democrats aren't willing to fight for that, then we got a lot bigger problems.
So I want to come at it for the other side, and I want to stand this just because I do think it's a genuine, like, Democrats are in a very tough position. I just want to be clear about this, and I don't think there's a lot of obviously, clearly great paths. We are not in power. That is a deep frustration. But the other side of the argument is, I agree with everything you're saying about healthcare. Donald Trump is consolidating his power over the federal government. We would be funding something that would be used to go after political enemies, to gut agencies without congressional approval, to allow him to continue doing corrupt deals that enrich him and his family personally. That any imprimatur of Democratic support for funding this government is a kind of normal politics when we need to shut this thing down by any congressional means that we have. And yes, healthcare is a uniting issue, but it's also, in some sense, one in a constellation of really unprecedented assaults on the checks and balances of our society.